All right, let's light on, light off. I'm feeling the vibe. Okay, let's stick to light off. Hi, welcome back. If you're here for like 5 seconds, I had a video up and then I deleted it because, I love to film and post and then be like, ew, it's ugly. Why would I watch that? Anyways, so here's technically my first video on my channel. And since we're coming to the end of 2024, I thought, why not? Let's film a wrap-up video of all my favorite books from this year. I want to say top 10, but I'm completely lying because there are series in the stack. And I'm not sure, like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if I can mention advanced copies that I read that don't come out until next year. Like, is that allowed? Is that allowed to make it into the list? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mention them throughout the video because I just feel like, I love them so much and they would definitely be on my top 10. In total this year, I read about, drumroll please, 46 books. I think I could be lying. Let me double check. Oh my god, look how that's pretty cool. This is actually for my Kindle, but because how lazy I am, I put my phone on there when I'm FaceTiming my friends because I want a better angle of me, I'm not trying to give them the fourth chin. Anyways, I hold on to my Kindle instead of using this. Yeah, so currently, oh my god, I lied. I read 47 books. Now, if you ask me what my goal was, on Goodreads, it was 0 because I said I am very competitive and if I put 100, I think I would have actually like stressed myself out, and with balancing work and school, there was no way I could do it. So I put 0 books. My actual goal for myself, I had one in the back of my mind. It was 50. Technically, it is. What day is it? It's December 26th. Okay. Can we hit it? Maybe. No, I can't, please. Hi, it's December 30th and I'm editing this right now and there's absolutely no way 50 books. The thought counts though. I just want some rest. Anyways, but yeah, so I ended up reading 47 books this year. I will say it was a successful year. I feel like I enjoyed my books a lot. A lot of my recs are from my friends, so I know that I would enjoy them. And like some of them are just repeat authors for me. So overall, I really enjoyed this year. Let's just go ahead and start with my top reads. For the first series that I read this year was actually a mafia series because I just feel like, let's start off the year without being too serious. The first series I read was Gabrielle Sands, The Fallen series. And oh my god, it was so freaking good, so entertaining. Shout out to my friend Ramisha. She was the one that recommended me the series, and honestly I fell in love with the way this author promotes her books on TikTok. I really love editing videos. It's like one of my jobs as well, and the way she is so creative with her videos on promoting her books, it just really drew me in, and I was like, okay, I have to read her books because like the way she edited videos honestly convinced me. If you love a dark spicy mafia series with a good plot and that draws you in, you would definitely love this. Anyways, the first book is When She Loves. Okay, so the first book is actually When She Unravels. Okay, this book is so fun. I'm not going to give you the plot for all the books, just the first one because this is the first book that drew me in, and I honestly believe this one's my favorite. It's about this girl that ran away from her home because she was raised to be the perfect mafia wife, so she ended up running away to Ibiza. Poor girl, what ended up happening is when she ran away from her mafia family, she got stuck with another mafia family. My girl is stuck with this life because you know what? You want to escape the mafia life, but the mafia life doesn't want to escape you. The tension between them, the bickering. I had the time of my life and I really love this book. Genuine amazing plots in the stories. Please pick this up. And all her stories are all on Kindle Unlimited. Like there's no reason not to pick it up and read it because hello. One series down, on to the next. Okay, so my second book this year that I loved so much, and it's definitely making it on this list, is The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. This isn't the original cover. The original cover has like butterflies and it's purple. It's super cute. But she was selling the special edition, which I'm so sorry to the people who weren't able to get this. I'm hoping that she's gonna put this back on her Etsy shop. I love this book. It had ice. Oh my god. So I just wanted a quick little read. Let me tell you the background story about this book, okay? Not what it's about, but what happened and the reason why I read this. I wanted a quick little story. A quick story just to get into before I slept. I didn't expect to stay up all night reading it. I cried my heart out. It was so good. You start a book at 5 a.m. and you're like, I'll read one chapter, and then now it's 8:30 a.m. you finish the book and you're heartbroken. So I felt reading The Two of Us by Taylor Torres. This is especially for fans who really, really love Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm telling you, you will love this book. This book has like childhood friends to strangers to lovers. I love this book so much. But yeah, I literally stayed up all night reading it. I was like, oh, I just want a quick little read before I go to sleep. Let me just have some entertainment. No, I ended up staying till like 8 a.m. in the morning, and I was like, what have I done? Was it worth it? Yes. Would I do it again? Absolutely. After I read this, Taylor Torres definitely went on my auto buy author list, and I cannot wait for her to release more. I need more. Taylor, if you're seeing this, I need more, please, because oh my god. A little backstory about the book. It's about this girl who's been avoiding her hometown because she ran away from it for like 7 years ago, and she's avoiding one particular man in this book, and you can guess who it is. This fine fellow right here. Look at this man. There is past and present chapters, and I remember really enjoying them because I'm usually the type that I'm usually interested in one timeline more than the other, but I feel like the story did it really well where I was interested in both. It's just such a sweet, wholesome book, and I really enjoyed this. And if I didn't convince you enough, just look at this art. Look at it. It's so cute. What's the best thing about all of this is that they're neighbors. You already know they can't escape each other. No, they can't. Alright, another book that I loved so much this year was Last Call at the Local by Sarah Grunder. Ruiz? I know I read a lot, but apparently I still can't read. I still can't pronounce things. I'm really bad with it, but Sarah Grunder Ruiz. I believe that's how you pronounce it. If not, I am so sorry. But this is for my ADHD girlies who need representation. This has the best representation. I read it in a book. I've never felt more seen. I was like, oh my god, this, me, her, hello. This is like, I felt like I was looking in the mirror when I was reading this. I loved it so much. I cried my heart out reading it. What I really liked about this book was the representation of OCD. I feel like people take OCD as, oh, I need everything clean and organized, or oh my god, my pencil's out of place, I'm so OCD. No, that's not the reality of it, and this was a great representation of it. You know, it was very deep, very good. I would look up trigger warnings as well. I read this as I was listening to the audiobook, and the audiobook narration was amazing. And I'm not even like an audiobook girly like that, but that was great. I really enjoyed it. Pretty much it's about this girl who ditched her life in Boston and went backpacking around Europe, and then she ended up stumbling upon this pub, this Irish pub, where she met an Irish man. After the MMC Jack inherited the pub, Rain had a few things to say, and she was like, oh, you should do this to the pub, this. And he was like, you know what? You know what you're talking about. Come work with me. Let's make this a thing. And so they did. And the rest was history. And they started to develop feelings for each other because one for sure would if they were working in forced proximity together. Just things are going to happen. It was a really cute story too as well. I just feel like besides the romance as well, I again really love the ADHD representation. It was great because she was trying to prove something to herself as well. I really enjoyed the story. You guys should read this. Next, baby, okay, hold on. Let me not embarrass myself. I know the order. Okay, Ember in the Ashes, baby. Torch, Reaper in the Gates, Reaper at the Gates, and then Sky Beyond the Storm. I finally read the Ember in the Ashes series by Sabaa Tahir. Shout out to all my book friends for putting a gun to my head and forcing me to read this because it was amazing. Yes, it did take a while, okay? I'm a slow reader, okay? I like to start things and not finish them because that's just truly who I am. My attention, hello, it's not always there. But generally, one of my favorite stories I've read. If you love dystopian books, fantasy, young adult, romance, this is definitely a series for you. It will honestly shatter you, break you down because like obviously I didn't overreact when it came to the book.
The one thing to happen is for him not to die, and that's the one thing that she did! I'm so annoyed!
Yeah, I definitely didn't overreact or anything. Like, I was completely calm, cool, and collected. I feel like I had an appropriate reaction when it came to the book. But yeah, this is so good. My girl Laya, Helene, everyone. I love Elias, Harper. I love everyone in this series. If you want an empowering story that's like plot twist after plot twist and just mind boggles you, like literally questions your well-being and like saying like, hey, can I continue this? Can I go through this? This is for you. If you want something to literally take over your soul, body, mind, everything, this is for you. I really, really love this story. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go with the rankings of this book. Should I leave that for the separate video? I don't know. But actually, that was not the first Sabaa Tahir book that I read this year. My first one was All My Rage. And truly, again, Sabaa just likes to make me cry. She likes to break my heart. She likes to take my heart and squeeze it and shatter it in pieces. And I feel like that's really beautiful. You know, she keeps you really into the story. I feel like if I didn't cry, did I really enjoy the book? That sounds really toxic, but I promise you, like, she's such a great writer. Again, shout out to my whole friend group for telling me to read this book, because I did, and I'm so glad I did. All My Rage is different from Ember and the Ashes series. Ember and the Ashes series is like young adult dystopian fantasy romance, while this is more of like realistic fiction, young adult with romance. I would definitely look up the trigger warnings because this book was a lot. Definitely had me crying and was very deep. There was then and now chapters as well. But yeah, the story is about family, friendship, hardships, and what it's like to be a child of an immigrant, honestly. Especially for my first generation. You'll really enjoy this book. And just look how cute Sabaa signs the book. My amazing cool friend Azanta reads. She moderated an event with her.
But sometimes we are hags, and like, it's okay. Like, power to hags. Like,
she's so cool and popular. Oh, love that girl. All right, next book I read was A Love Like the Sun by Ruiz M. Neilson. And I have 2 copies because I have to stomp. I got the ARC, thank you to Berkeley, and I got the published copy. Holy crap, I love this book. This is for the fans that really love Best Friends to Lovers, which say all that you want about Best Friends to Lovers, but honestly, it's top tier when it comes to contemporary romances. In my opinion, it's amazing. And this book was so freaking adorable. I loved it so much. So about these 2 best friends, 𝕤𝕤𝕤 and Isaac, and 𝕤𝕤𝕤 is just like a homebody. She loves staying home. She loves being to herself. Our FMC 𝕤𝕤𝕤 is like a homebody. She loves being to herself. She's very introverted. She's running a small business with her mom. And then there's Isaac, who's our MMC. He's internet famous. He's the complete opposite of her. You know, he's very out there, famous, paparazzi, all that shabam. So one day Isaac comes home. He sees that 𝕤𝕤𝕤 is struggling with her business with her mom, and then decided, hey, I'm going to tell the world that we're dating so people like your brand and your brand gets popular, which, you know, of course makes sense. That's just the best solution in my opinion. But of course they got together for the world to see. So it's a fake dating trope essentially. And it was just so fun. Again, I read this overnight as well.
It's 4:23 a.m. Someone free me from the shackles of this book. I'm so tired.
For some reason, I'm like, hey, let me just pick up something right before I go to sleep. I stayed up all night reading it. I remember, yeah, I really enjoyed this book. There's one particular quote that really took me out. And I posted this on my Instagram. Let me go. It really questioned my love life here, but here, let me go. I'm so damn in love with you. Whatever it takes, because I know you feel it too. Talk to me. Tell me what's wrong. Let's work through it together. Communication? Green flag. Like, are you kidding me? Wants to talk? Green flag. And to all the haters out there, 𝕤𝕤𝕤 is a misunderstood FMC, and if you don't like it, you just hate women. I said what I said. Now, another book that actually didn't come out this year, but I loved it so much, and surprisingly did not expect to love as much, was Happy Place by Emily Henry. Not for the romance aspect. Honestly, I could give less a frick about the romance in here. No, it was good. It was good. But like, I just always said, Emily Henry doesn't write romance in my opinion. I feel like she writes more for women's fiction. There was one particular scene in here that talked about like depression and anxiety, and I never felt more seen in my life. Literally had me bawling my eyes out. I was FaceTiming my friends and I had to put the phone down because I really couldn't do it. Truly, this is such a beautiful book. I feel like it talks about friendship more than anything. So a lot of people intentionally went into this book expecting like this huge romance. Honestly, I didn't. I went in knowing Emily Henry, how she is and how she writes. I essentially expected to read something like this, where it talks about friendship, where it talks about, you know, mental health. I do want to read you the one quote that literally took me out. It's on page 288, and I did post this on my TikTok before, but I'll read it again. Shit. In high school, I had this friend on the soccer team, and one day after a game, he collapsed. His chest hurt and he couldn't get his shirt off, but he wanted to because he couldn't breathe, and we all thought he was having a heart attack. Turned out it was asthma. Spent like 17 years operating on 55% lung capacity without realizing breathing just wasn't supposed to be that hard. Starting antidepressants was like that for me. I felt like shit all the time, and then suddenly I didn't. And all that stuff seemed possible for the first time. My mind felt quieter, maybe lighter. That quote bawled my eyes out. But yeah, I felt very seen, and I just feel like that was beautiful representation, and I just feel like it really talks about the importance of friendship as well. Next book on my top reads is The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. This is actually a Mulan retelling, which honestly this was my first encounter with Mulan. I've never watched it before, but my book friends heard I didn't, and after I read this book they forced me to watch Mulan, which honestly I loved so much. Thank you guys so much. I ended up watching it again with my niece and I'm so grateful I did it. The story is great. It's so entertaining. This is going to be a duology. The next book comes out next year. The author herself is amazing, which another cool thing, my other friend, oh my god, my friends are so famous. My other friend Ramisha, she actually hosted an event with her as well. But if you want, like, if you love the badass Mulan and you just want a good story that's action packed and has romance, this one's for you. I really enjoyed it and I really can't wait for the next book. All right, next, Are You Even Surprised She's on This List? Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. If you know anything about me, I love Abby Jimenez. Like, her books are right here. These are all signed. Ramisha, shout out to Ramisha. She got me a special signed edition of Just for the Summer, which is one of the books from my top books this year. This book is about Emma and Justin. Emma is pretty much has the worst luck when it comes to love. A relationship she's getting broken up with, but one day she stumbled upon this Reddit thread that went viral, and it's about our MMC Justin, and he was talking about being like love's good luck charm, and pretty much every girl he dated after they broke up, they would find the love of their life. So Emma ended up messaging him and thought, hey, I think this is a great idea. We can cancel each other out. And he's like, yeah, that's such a great idea. But of course, they fell in love. You know, like, what else is going to happen in a romance book? Shocker, plot twist, spoiler, amazing. I highly, highly recommend, if you're going to read this book but you haven't read Part of Your World, you have to read Part of Your World. That's the rules. I don't make them. You have to read it. I don't care. You have to read it because it all comes into play. And Part of Your World was one of my favorite reads from 2023. So it was just like a full circle. Was it 2023 or 2022? I can't remember. Anyways, but it was one of my favorite reads and it was just full circle. It was so good. All right, next book I read this year was Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. This is my first Natasha Bishop book and definitely not my last. I ate this up. This was so freaking good. And holy shit, this book was so drama packed. I ate up every single second. It's about this girl who her sister is getting married to her ex-boyfriend. You heard me right. So FMC's ex-boyfriend is getting married to FMC's sister. Talk about family drama. How awkward must it be during Thanksgiving? Think about it. Crickets. Anyways, she ended up going to Tulum for their wedding and she ended up getting with her ex-boyfriend's best friend because as she should, that should definitely happen. And the way this man treats her, the way this man spoils her, please read this book. It's not even that long, honestly. It's on Kindle Unlimited. It was so good. I just want to be her in the story. Rome is truly top tier book boyfriend. I loved him so much. Again, this is on Kindle Unlimited. I'm begging you to read this. So good. What I loved about Rome, he just wanted to take care of her. He just wanted to spoil her. And you know what? As he should. My next fave of this year was Bride by Ali Hazelwood, and I ate this book up. It was so fun. We did a joint buddy read with all my friends together. It was so entertaining and so good, and the romance was so top tier. If you love like vampire and werewolf but not too serious and just have a fun adventure with the romance, and you know, Ali Hazelwood is one of the funniest authors, so truly like you'll just have a good time reading this. This does come with the Marriage of Convenience. I honestly read this in the beginning of the year, so I can't remember too much. I just remember shit going down and I expect a book 2. If not, it's on site. The way this man worships the ground that she walks on, it's so good. Obviously this is like romantasy, very heavy on the romance than the fantasy. That doesn't even make sense, does it? Anyways, and now here comes my honorable mentions of the year. Since these are 2 advanced copies that I read, one I beta read for these books and they don't come out until next year. One of them is Out of the Woods by 𝕬𝕒𝕤𝕤𝕤. Shout out to Hannah by letting me read like her draft because that's insane. And shout out to Dell for sending me the arc of it because look how stunning this cover is. It's so cute. I love them so much. If you read Out on a Limb, which I love them so much. This is on their best friends, Sarah and Caleb. And this is like a marriage of crisis, but without like it being really that dramatic. I will say this is romance, yes, but it lies heavier in the woman fiction side of things. I loved it so much. Truly holds near and dear to my heart. Such a sweet story. It comes out January 28th. Oh my god, the day is coming so close. I'm so excited. I love the story too because we get an insight of like Wynn and Sarah's relationship, and then you also get to see the depth of Sarah and Caleb's relationship in here, which you didn't get to see obviously in Out on a Limb. I love this book so much. It's so sweet, and I can't wait for others to read it. And then the other one that I read this year, but obviously it's not coming out for a while. Honestly, I don't even know what date it's coming out, but it's People Watching. Again, People Watching by 𝕤𝕒𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤. Shout out to Hannah for letting me read the draft of that. I love this book so much more heavier on the romance side of things. I don't know how much I can give it away. Just know you're gonna love it. I don't even know if there's a cover for it yet. It's so good. But yeah, those are not all the books I read this year, but those are my top books from this year. There are some others I want to mention, but honestly, I'm tired of talking, and we'll talk about it later in this year. If I loved it that much, it'll get brought up again. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys like it. If you guys have any suggestions of what videos you guys want me to film next, feel free to comment below. If not, I'm still gonna make videos. You have no choice, but you're gonna constantly see me on here, unfortunately. But anyways, thanks for watching. Bye!